Dear students, welcome to BioLectoria. In our series of basic courses, we will continue the basic course of immunology. And in our today's lecture, we will discuss about the activation of CD4 and CD8 T cells. So first of all, we will see at the end of this lecture what you will be able to learn. So first of all, you will learn how cytotoxic and helper T cells are activated. Then what is meant by the term energy, and at the end we will see what is clonal expansion and why it is important. So before starting our next lecture, let's recall our last lecture. In our last lecture, we have already discussed that a T cell recognizes the antigen that presented by class 2 MSC molecule by TCR. If you look for here, as we can see that the T cells are joined with the presented antigen with the help of receptor that is called T cell receptor. That is in short form, we also called it as a TCR. And then in order to confirm that antigen is presented with the MSC molecule, co-receptor of helper T cells, as we can see here, this is a co-receptor, and that is also called CD4, that bind to the beta 2 domain of MSC class 2 molecules. So this is all we have already learned in our last lecture. So that phenomena, if we go further, what we are going to talk, okay, how as a result of this interaction, how the T cells, that naive helper T cells that particularly become activated helper T cells. So understand that that is what we are going to learn in our today's lecture. So we are looking for the T cell activation and recognition of antigen by the TCR and recognition of MSC class 2 molecule by co-receptor, that was a CD4, is also known as a first signal of T cell activation. So now question is that whether the T cell is activated following the first signal of activation. So the answer is no. So then of course the question raised, how the T cells got activated. So if we look further, the T cell, actually the activation of T cell is a two signal process. What we call it, first is a first signal that we have discussed here. So what is a first signal for T cell activation? So first signal for T cell activation is recognition of antigen by TCR and then recognition of MSC class 2 molecule by co-receptor CD4. So that what we called it as a first signal. So what we are going to learn in detail next, that is what is the second signal. So if we look for the second signal, so let's try to understand that process. So what we are going to do in the coming slide, so let's try to develop an understanding of second signal of T cell activation. And keep in mind that second signal of T cell activation is also known as a co-stimulation. So it means what we have learned, the first signal, that is actually comprises the two steps. What is the two steps? One is a recognition by the TCR, and the second was recognition of MSC molecule by the co-receptors. So that was the first signal. So now we are going to learn what is the second signal for T cell activation. And in the second signal, what we are going to learn here, that is also called the co-stimulation, and it enhances the first signal. And macrophages are actually very clever molecules, and they will start releasing other chemical to stimulate the T cells. And these molecules are actually known as the interleukins, or in this case, what we are called as the interleukin 1s. So first, let's try to understand what does mean by this term interleukin. And or another way we can say that why we call them the interleukins. So as these molecules are communicating between macrophage and T cells, and these both, like a macrophage that is called the APC here, and these helper T cells, these both are the leukocytes. That's why they are called interleukins. So in simple way, why they are called interleukins? Because these molecules intercommunicating between two leukocytes. Because of course we know that macrophage and T cells both are the leukocytes, and they are intercommunicating with these two leukocytes. So that's why they are called interleukins. And then as you can see here, we are talking interleukin 1. So then we given the number on the basis of their discovery. So far now we have more than 35 interleukins. So on the basis of their discovery, like interleukin 1, interleukin 2, interleukin 3, and so on. So maybe some of will give the example in our coming slides. So in that way, if you look for here, they give the signals, and then as a result, what happening? The nuclear machinery of T cells got activated, and then these interleukins also bind on the surface of T cells with the help of receptor that is called IL-1 receptor, and as you can see here, and then they bind and give the signal to the nuclear machinery of the T cells. So now the process is, now next question of course raises how this phenomenon take place. So let's try to understand that one. One of the most important known co-stimulator is a pair of B7 and CD28, as you can see here. If you look for here, this is a CD28, and if you, where the CD28 is located, if you look for here, that is located on the surface of T cells. So what we call it here is CD28 receptor is present on the T cells. And if we look for the other one, that was the B cells, and we call it especially the B7. And while the B7 is a ligand which is present on the APC. So that we have understand in the B7, where is it located? It is located on the APC, that is in case of the macrophage. And but if we look for the other one, that is the CD28, that is located on the surface of a T cell. So that's very important to memorize to learn our next slides. So next, if we look for here, then these binding allow cells to adhere together more tightly and for longer time. So, and then what happening? These two signal results in the activation of T cells, and then as a result of that, the T cells got activated, and that is what we have learned in this slide. With the help of these two receptors that we are known as also as a co-stimulator. One in that case is a B7, another is in the here is a CD28. So on these signals, once the signals by IL-2 is received by the nuclear machinery via cascadal events, the clonal expansion of the selected T cells take place. So if you look for here, if these activated T cells start synthesizing and secreting the IL-2, and these IL-2 serve as a autocrine signaling molecules. So let's try to understand what does mean by this autocrine signaling. So if you look for here, these are the molecules are releasing by the these particular cells which are known as the T cells, and they're also acting on the same cells. And if the phenomenon is that if the cell are secreting on the same cells and acting on the same cells, then that phenomenon is known as a autocrine signaling, or that molecule is known as a autocrine signaling molecule. So how we can simply say that IL-2 serve as a autocrine signaling molecule. Why is called autocrine signaling molecule? Because it acts on the same cell which produce it, and meanwhile another gene product start expressing IL-2 receptor on the T cell to which IL-2 are bounded. If you look for here, then here is the IL-2 receptor, and that IL-2 cytokines start binding with this receptor, that is IL-2 receptor, and then this binding give a ultimate signal to the nuclear machinery, as you can see here, and they are putting the signal towards the nuclear machinery, and as a result what happening, that nuclear machinery of course got the signal, and T cells undergo the process of mitosis, and that phenomena, what we called it as a clonal expansion. So during the clonal expansion, if you look for here, this is an of course a NAV CD cell, and now we have after the factors, both signal, the signal 1 and the signal 2, now these cells got activated, and after these activations, now what happened, that during the clonal expansion, activated T cell proliferate and differentiate to form many copies of effector T cells, as we can see here. You can see the number of CD4 T effector T cells, and similarly, and also there is the effector T cells, and that are affinity and specificity for the same antigen and as well as they also form a number of memory T cells. So we will slightly take a look in the next slide how the CD effector T cell and how the memory T cell works. So if we look for the function of CD effector and memory T cells, so CD4 effector T cell form a diverse subset of T helper cells which help the other immune cells by releasing the cytokines. In detailed phenomenon, we are going to learn in our coming lecture. And other function of the effector T cell is these cells also help suppress or regulate immune responses. So now let's talk about the CD4 memory T cells. So what does they perform? So if we look for the CD4 memory T cells, CD4 memory T cells can survive for longer duration, or in case of entry of same pathogens in the future, memory T cells quickly generate effector and memory T cell to fight with that infection. So it means they can recognize if the same pathogens enter again into our body, and then as a result they can be differentiated into new effector cell to fight with that particular pathogens. And now what we can say that what we have learned so far. So we have learned that how CDT cells are activated. So that's we have learned in our so far lecture. Next is how CD8 T cells are activated. So let's take the look how these cells are activated. So we have to recall our lecture number 3. That was about MSC class 1 molecules pathway. So what we have learned in that lecture, we know that naive CD8 cell recognize antigen presented by MSC class 1 molecule via TCR and CD8 co-receptors. In addition to that, similar to the CD4 T cells, that for their proper activations, they also required co-stimulation. And in case of this one, as it what we have called it, if we memorize our third lectures about this series, MSC class 1 molecular pathway, so what we that signal what we called it, that was the first signal for the T cell activation. But what happening, including even after that signals, cells still can't perform the immune functions, is not involving in the immune response, and that's why that phenomenon is also called that state of the cell is also called energy. So after that first signal, what happening, these cells have a co-stimulators, and in case of CD8 T cells, co-stimulation occur by IL-2 and other cytokines produced by helper T cells, if we look for here. And then from here what happening, then we have a second signal, and now the first signal and second signal, as a result the T cells got activated. So the first signals in combination with the second signals, what they in the resulting of T cell activation. So next, similar to the CD4 cells, these T cells, what they do, they also undergo the phase of proliferation and differentiation. So now we have active CD8 T cells. After undergoing the proliferation and differentiation, they also produce a number of copies of CD effector T cells and also CD8 memory T cells. So what they does actually, if we look for CD8 effector T cells, so CD8 effector cytotoxic T cell directly attack infected cells of body to kill them. But how actually it take place, that we are going to learn in our coming lectures. And if we talk about CD8 memory T cells, so CD8 memory T cells quickly proliferate and differentiate into the effector and memory T cells if encountered by the same pathogens. So what it does, the same phenomenon as we have learned in case of CD4 memory T cells. So if the same pathogens comes into the body again, so as a result, the CD8 memory T cells immediately recognize that pathogens, and then they got differentiated into the effector cells. And those effector cells fight with that particular pathogens, and even they also get other T cells to keep as for the next time's entry of same kind of pathogens. So this is what we have. But in the next lecture, we will learn how the diverse subset of T helper cells are formed and help other immune cells to perform their function. So that's we are going to learn in our coming lectures. So now if we look for here, the activated T cells undergo the clonal expansion, differentiate, proliferate to produce the effector and memory CD8 T cells. So in our next lecture, we will also learn how cytotoxic T cell works. So in this slide, we are going to summarize our today's lecture. So first of all, what we have learned that T cell activation is a two signal process. One we call it the first signal, and the other is called the second signal. So what happening in the first signal, second signal of the T cell is also known as a co-stimulation. And commonly known co-stimulator are cytokines or pair of plasma membrane molecules. Following activation, T cell proliferate and differentiate to form a effector and memory T cells. And effector T cell either directly kill the infected cells or help other cells of immune system to fight the infection. And if we talk about the cytotoxic T cells, so in case of cytotoxic T cells, what happened? In case of the entry of same pathogen in the future, memory T cells quickly generate effector and memory T cells to effectively fight that particular infections. So that is what we have learned so far. So in our next lecture, we are going to learn how helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells works.